Once upon a time, in a quiet village nestled by the hills, there lived a humble farmer named Jayan. He worked hard every day, tending to his crops and caring for his family. But one day, while tilling his land, Jayan stumbled upon something strange buried in the soil. It was an ancient gourd, shimmering like gold. Bewildered, he took the gourd home, not knowing it was magical. That night, something extraordinary happened. As the moonlight spilled through the windows of Jayan's small cottage and touched the gourd, it began to glow. The glow grew brighter and brighter until it filled the entire room with a magical light. To Jayan's amazement, the gourd spoke.
I am a magical gourd. Ask for anything you desire. But remember, greed shall lead to ruin.
At first, Jayan was cautious. Though skeptical, he asked for something simple, enough food to feed his family. In an instant, a table full of delicious food appeared, and his family rejoiced. For a while, Jayan asked for only small things. He wished for clothes for his children and repairs for their leaky roof. Each time, the gourd granted his wishes, and Jayan was content. But as days passed, Jayan's desires grew. He was no longer satisfied with just enough. One day, Jayan sat in his cottage, staring at the glowing gourd with a greedy glint in his eye. He wished for a grand mansion, larger than anyone in the village. Suddenly, a huge palace of marble and gold rose around him. The villagers looked on in awe and disbelief as Jayan's simple home transformed into a grand estate. Jayan smiled, basking in their envy and admiration. Yet even this wasn't enough. Jayan's heart had been overtaken by greed, and soon his wishes became more and more extravagant. He asked for piles of gold, jewels, and riches beyond imagination. His palace overflowed with treasures, but still, Jayan was not satisfied. One stormy night, Jayan made his most dangerous wish. He asked the gourd for ultimate power to rule the entire world. The gourd flickered ominously as it spoke once more.
Your greed knows no bounds. So be it.
Suddenly, Jayan began to feel a strange sensation. His legs rooted into the ground, his arms grew heavy and wooden, and his body twisted into the shape of a tree. His grand palace crumbled to dust. His riches vanished, and all that remained was the towering tree where Jayan once stood. The next morning, the villagers gathered around the enormous tree that had appeared overnight, confused and curious. The magical gourd had turned Jayan into a tree, forever rooted to the ground, unable to move or speak. His wealth and power were gone, and all that remained was the lonely tree, a symbol of his insatiable greed. From that day forward, the villagers would pass by the tree and tell their children the story of Jayan, the man who wanted everything, but lost it all. And so, they learned that true happiness lies not in wealth or power, but in contentment and kindness.